It drives me absolutely bananas when someone says, or you read something that they claim they can get you number one on Google. Now, if they're talking about advertising, that makes a little bit more sense. But if they're talking about the free organic results, if they claim they can do that, if someone tells you they can do that for you, you should turn and run the other way because that is simply not going to happen ever. Even if a Google employee claimed that, I still would have my doubts that anyone could have so much confidence that they could get you number one on Google. The other reason why that's kind of silly is there's really no such thing as being number one on Google. Let me show you what I mean. So here's a search result for movie times. Now, I live in Columbus, Ohio, and what happens when I do a search? Well, Google knows my location, so they are showing me movies playing near Columbus, Ohio. You've probably seen this before. So all of my results are tailored towards my location, Columbus, Ohio, it's a Columbus theater, etc., etc. Do you think if I lived in San Diego and I did a search for movie times that I would get the same results? Of course not. So if someone claimed that they rank number one for movie times as an example, that's just complete silliness, right? Because it matters what location you are. Same thing with restaurants. Restaurants is another example. If I just search restaurants, not even Columbus restaurants, if I just search restaurants, Google knows that I live in Columbus and it shows me the top 10 best Columbus restaurants. Now, it doesn't necessarily apply to local results as well. If I do a search for politics, one of the things Google does is they factor in previous search results that you've done. So if you are logged into your account, they have a history of all the search results you've ever done. So for me, I'm not a political person, so I'm not sure why, but I like to give this example. So I did a search for politics, and number one was Huffington Post. I have a friend who I am almost positive if he did a search for politics, Huffington Post would not be the first search result. It would most likely be Fox News. So Google takes into account not just your location, but also the previous search results that you've done. And they do all sorts of things. What pages you've went to, just all kinds of factors. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever claiming you rank number one because you might rank number one for somebody, but you won't rank number one for somebody else. It's all very customized. Google is extremely, extremely sophisticated, and they factor in you personally if you are logged into your account. Now, if you're not logged into your account, they can still do your location, but they can't do all of the targeting that they want. But my point is, ranking number one for Google doesn't really mean anything. All you can do is optimize your site as best as you can and not get too hung up on the rankings. So don't be searching for your website constantly, seeing where you rank. That does you no good because it does have a lot of recency bias. So if I'm searching my company name and I'm clicking on my website, well, Google might tend to show my website more to me personally, but not necessarily to everyone else. So don't get hung up on where you're ranking. Just focus on the things we're talking about this course, and all of the other stuff will really just take care of itself.